Hey traders, Raghee here. We're going to kick off this video with a look at the economic calendar. This one just happens to be from Forex Factory, but you can do this on any economic calendar. I'd say my two favorite is Forex Factory and the other one is Trading Economics. And this is what I've got my eye on going into tomorrow, Wednesday. Take a peek right here, FOMC. We go from the statement to the presser, and normally what we like to do is buy, sort of, in this case, buy the FOMC, which leads into sort of a sell the Powell. What does that mean? Because whenever Powell speaks, what he typically does, he sends the market higher into the event, and the market tends to sell off after. Now, this isn't Powell. It's not personal. What this is the market tends to not want to be short into FOMC events. And so if I take a look at what our overall bias was, despite the chop, and really despite the wandering around before the market ultimately found traction and moved higher, it's this. We don't want to pick the short side of the market in front of an FOMC event, speech, projections, press conference, whatever, especially where Powell is going to be front and center. Now, tomorrow after 2 p.m. Wednesday, all bets are off, and that's 2 p.m. Eastern. All bets are off. If we're going to pull back, and that's one of the things that I want to discuss in the premium video, which is what if we pull back? Where are the opportunities in any kind of post-event pullback? And if we do get it, I will be very opportunistic on that. I don't anticipate it happening in the Russell, although the Russell is somewhat dollar sensitive. So that could be interesting, but the Russell definitely has been, in terms of strength, the strongest of the four indices. In fact, this morning, our one and only trade, our one and only fill from this morning's day trading session in the futures room was the Russell. And you can see the zones we were watching for back here in the early part of the session. So that's what we were looking for. I'm not saying we were looking for a 1958, but we were looking for the market to move higher. In this case, small cap, and definitely took the lead. And that's where the cleanest setup really was. Interesting morning, though. Not one that I would say is necessarily easy for day trading, but there were two other markets that also caught my eye, and I just want to mention, this. Don't get completely focused on the indices in the morning. Just last week, we were trading the Australian dollar to the upside. We were open to doing that today. And crude oil and bonds both typically will track with some of the same tools and setups that I will use in indices, sectors, and equities, but not gold. I won't trade gold in the same way. Crude's probably a little bit cleaner a setup in terms of its movement with equities. And before I leave you with this video, remember, let's go back to the calendar where we started this conversation. Yes, we have the Fed tomorrow, but also remember, we've got crude oil inventories, and then we also have OPEC all day tomorrow. Now, OPEC has another meeting on Jan 4, but we are looking to see if those moderate production increases are going to erode any of the support, and whether or not they're going to extend those, overall be in agreement and keep production fairly low for the foreseeable future, which will keep this double green uptrend intact. And by the way, that's also going to help the XLE sector, which is also seeing for the past month and a half now a lot of sector rotation into it after being neglected for most of the year. All right, so that is what we've got our eye on. Powell, and keeping that long bias up until about 2 o'clock, taking advantage of the pullbacks. That would be something I'll do on the daily time frame. All right, hope that helps. Game plan for tomorrow. I'll see you in the next update.